I want to go home, dude. Please. Let me go home. Please.
What made you flip out like that, man?
I got caught up in the money, the power.
You know what the sad part is I got a pumpkin spice candle that's burning in my house, but right when I open my suitcase, it smells like Bath and Body Works soap that just emulates the entire room. That's the funny part. All right, let's get down to business because we're doing things differently on our third year here. For starters, I've decided to update my suit game. So which means when we're doing these VIP events, we're going in full scale and casual. Let me show you what I mean. We looking like we be selling Ferraris for a living. Or we be looking like we work for ITT Tech. How does this look? Well, I mean, I gotta tie it a little bit and strengthen it. But I mean, this is what we're going with. If we've gotten to the point where we've had dinner with retired Hasbro and Netflix voice actors, and we've made friends with some of them, it's time for us to upgrade. Because you know what? If this leads to a brighter future, which so God I hope, it's time for us to upgrade our suit game. If they were impressed about the fact that I wore a suit to a non-profit convention, they could be more impressed that I look like a fancy little pretty boy businessman, while this other guy in West Virginia is probably sucking his mama's penis. You guys want to hear my retirement plan? Even though it's too young for me to talk about? This. A camper like this would be pretty cool. Because then you can go upstairs, you can sleep, you got your kitchen, you got your shower, probably some chairs, maybe a small nice little TV. You just park this bitch in the middle of the woods. Sounds like a perfect retirement plan. Or you park it in an RV park or a trailer park or something. Get away with nature, you know? That would be the best way of going out, at least personally in my case. So, funny story. My last grocery store client decided to book into the Comfort Inn just a few blocks from here, and then I landed up here like 30 minutes ago. But it's actually probably a good thing we landed up here because we got some new things that I want to talk about on our approach to Everfree Northwest 2026 this year. We're going to be up against some new tactics. So the first thing is we changed flight companies. We're not flying with Southwest this year. Southwest, they did not have the flights we needed to get to Seattle, Tacoma in time for day 0. So we're going to be flying with a different company that will be getting us there on a non-stop flight for like a 2-hour flight. And it's going to be getting us there quicker. The only reason we were flying with Southwest was pretty much because they were the only reliable transportation to get us to Burlingame. And sadly, BabsCon's not around anymore. And I wish it still is. You know how many times I've gone to sleep and I start seeing visions of the Hyatt Regency SFO, and I start seeing all these like mascots and floating through my head? Like, I see it a lot. And maybe someday I might be taking a well-deserved vacation back out there when I'm done with my finances and done building my car, and just take a nice little relaxing vacation back to Burlingame, and I might hop on a Southwest flight and go back out there. Anyways, besides that, there was another thing I wanted to talk about. So last year for Everfree Northwest 2025, I had stated when we did our airport footage just in time for the flight, I think it was like a couple weeks to the final 100 days, that I said that I'm not feeling it this year, and you know, I don't know if I should go or be back. I'm actually feeling a lot more confident this year. We did have an issue about a couple months ago where I did say some stupid shit and do some stupid shit, in which I had apologized to those that I had impacted, including one of the vendors. And a lot of people had started seeing that I was becoming more and more of a considerate person, especially after that whole situation where one of our sponsors broke down in tears in front of Vincent Tong, the same guy from like Lego Ninjago, and he does the voice for Sandbar in Friendship is Magic. Even Vincent Tong had said that I was a really nice person, and that I took time out of my own day to cheer this guy up at the sponsor dinner, by the way. So, unlike last year, I'm feeling a little bit more confident this year. This is going to be our 3rd year at Everfree Northwest, and you know, even though there was a lot of questions that were raised with my unprofessional behavior, in which I take full accountability for everything that I had said or did, because you know, like I said, after BabsCon closed last year, I started turning into an alcoholic and stopped giving a fuck about anything. I started making things right with anybody that I may have impacted. Some people were confused, but some people had said that I didn't do anything wrong and that, you know, I had every right to apologize, and some people actually accepted my apology. This year, I'm starting to feel a little bit more excited, unlike last year. Unfortunately, we're not to the point where we're about ready to take our annual road trip yet. Like I said, this is right after I delivered to a client that was at a Comfort Inn, and I had to come down here. I'm feeling a little bit more motivated this year for this 3rd year. And I want to make this 3rd year special by not only just handing out free table items and charity auction items, but I also want to get a chance to maybe introduce myself a little bit more to some polite vendors, staff members. Some people, they said that, you know, I was a considerate person last year, and that gave me something to work off of for this year. I would like to try to do this year with the whole approaching the vendors and staff member situation is on day 0 when it happens, when I go pick up my registration, if it doesn't take up too long, I want to get a chance to introduce myself to these staff members at Everfree Northwest. You know, introduce myself, basically say that I'm the guy that's sending in all the emails, messages, all that. Just to try to build more of a connectable friendship, if you will. And that's pretty much what I want to try to do. There's a lot of people that have known me from last year, but there's also some that are somewhat aware of who I am. But I want to try to bridge that gap of going somewhere of knowing who I am and actually knowing who I am. I think I should probably start heading home. It's actually, I think, almost close to midnight. And I wanted to come here, clear my mind, and just discuss this new tactic. I only wanted to make 1 grocery delivery today to meet my quota, so I'm happy. It's gonna be fun. Let's just hope that our plans work this year.
The funny thing is, this guy literally thought he could try to bring me down, and if we go to his posts, he basically told me to f*** off. This dude tried to create a multitude of fake accounts on Blue Sky and Twitter to try to condone and harassment while supporting a guy in West Virginia that has been convicted, if I can use that as a word, of sexual assault on women, and has also gotten banned from several MLP Discord servers. Thought they literally had the higher ground, like this is Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. But what they don't realize is I got a lot more friends than I do enemies. Happened to be in that California Discord server that tossed his salad.
Yep, you're banned. Have a good night.
But pretty soon we're getting ready to say goodbye to these old tires. They're about ready to reach their 5-year warranty, so which means we won't be putting up with like such wear and tear like that. We're gonna be getting some name brand performance tires put on this, like some Falcon tires, dude. So we're gonna have some really neat things to work with on this old vehicle. And then this one over here, this one is also getting replaced because we took a nail in the tire about a couple months ago and they did an emergency repair. They did it right. The dude fixed it. He did it for like a cheap price, which, you know, to be fair, he did a great job. But he also overinflated it. So it's it's not really even. But yet again, these tires have been on here since the day I bought the car like 5 years ago. So it's pretty much time for these to go and get some aftermarkets installed. When we head back to Seattle this year, I'm going to be bringing the other model that was commissioned from Equestria Plush, in which I only own 2 of these models in the entire 11 years of operation that they have been around. I am definitely looking into buying more, but they are really hard to come by, and the only way to get one of these was either dropping a load of money at BabsCon or getting consent from the founder, which is one of 2 ways. Last year, I had actually brought this one with me to the Pacific Northwest, in which a lot of people did ask for photo opportunities, and she was the last ever model they ever built in the entire 11 years of operation, in which this one was also the final model that was made from BabsCon last April through Equestria Plush. This one I actually got a little bit of an interesting backstory on, because she's never actually traveled to Seattle before. So we're going to be doing our first ever trip with bringing her to the Pacific Northwest during this Alice in Wonderland or Dreamland theme that is going on at Everfree Northwest 2023, in which a lot of people said that it fits the theme pretty well. But I didn't think about the theme. I was thinking about the fact that a lot of people had wanted to continue seeing a lot of these builds being sent up there. But I didn't realize that when I stated that last year that she was going to be not coming with me this year, that a lot of people had expressed concerns. So instead of bringing this one, I'm going to bring the second to last build with me this year, who has never, and I mean ever, traveled to Seattle before. She's traveled through Arizona, she's traveled through California, she's never been to Seattle before.